Morning, and welcome back to the channel, welcome back to Love 500, and welcome back to another video on that pesky speedometer. The 2015 car with a really low mileage, where I've been trying to sort this speedo out. I'm going to take it apart again. This time, we might just be successful. Keep watching, let's go. So I'm going to do this Speedo today. This is the Speedo that came out of the 2015 car, which has got quite low miles on it. So I temporarily put in the 2019 one, if you remember. And I've been looking around and I actually found a source to get the correct LCD panels. So the panel, the serial number of the Speedo was given to the company where I got it from, and the year of the car, and he said, yeah, I've got a panel for that. Most of the ones you find on eBay and places like that, which are around the same sort of price, or for the 2000 up to 2010, they don't seem to be widely available for the later models. He ensures me that this one is the correct one, so I bought it. I'm going to try it. So the lady wants to come down today, this afternoon, for me to put it into her car. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to install this. And then I'm going to get Loopy Harold outside, and then I'm going to, although Loopy Harold is obviously an 11 plate car, not a 15 plate car, all I'm interested in seeing is whether that centre LCD works. If it does, then that'll be great, because then I know when I put it in her car it's going to work. No messing around with mileages or compatibility, so we need this to work. So I'm going to take this apart. You've seen the video before. I've learned since then you don't have to take out all of these screws in here as well. You only have to take out the ones around the side, which will then make the front come off and access that, and then we can get that off. So I'm going to take those screws out and then we'll come back. Okay, so that's the front off, which was just those screws around the outside. Now obviously to get the entire back off, which we need to do, we do need to undo these screws. So I think we need to undo all of these. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 extra screws to get the back off. You can't take that off without taking the, let's just put this camera up a little bit. You can't take the LCD panel out without taking the back off. So we'll get those screws out and then we'll come back again. Okay, so all of those screws out. Now one thing to note, if you're taking out all these screws and taking this apart, all the screws are the same size except for that one at the top. Let me show you. Hopefully I can get these in focus. So that's the, where are we? That's the screw for the top, and that's the screw for all the rest. So as you can see, it's a lot shorter. So when you put them all back together, make sure that short screw goes in the top there. Right, so all those screws are out, and now what we have to do is release the tabs at the top. Where did I start? You start at one end. Release the tabs and then it just eventually, oh, this is not the ideal surface to be doing this on. I need something to, it's not gripping on it. Move my chair closer. Okay, let's try that again. Okay. No, it's still not gripping on it very well, but you need to release the tab, pull it out, there we go, and then just work your way around it, get screwdriver underneath, whoops, did a lot of good when it keep dropping it. I'm sure there's an easier way. But you do. I've watched other YouTube videos, and this is the only. Oh, one of them's popped back in again. That's annoying. These things are sent to try us. Here we go. I really need something to, I haven't got anything. Let me find something and I'll come back. Well, I don't know if this is going to help, but I've got a duster or a microfiber cloth. I just happen to have lying around. Come out, you bugger. Oh, this is really not the easiest of things. Oh, here we go. They actually came off a lot easier than this before when I did it. There we go. Right, that's off. And that just flicks off. Okay, I made a bit of a meal of that, didn't I? Right, now, what we didn't discover before, which we discovered this time, which I did mention in a previous video, is this bit here has got a little gate. So rather than just getting hold of that and yanking it out, what you actually have to do is release the gate. So you have to pull up the little tabs on the gate, like that, and then pull out the ribbon cable, like so. And then to get that LCD off, you've got two tabs there, one there and one there. So if you squeeze those in and pull, it just comes off like that. Just like that. And now what we need to do, I watched a video on this before. What you get is just the LCD. So you've got to take the old LCD out of here. Now I watched the video and he just got a screwdriver around that edge and it just popped out. So I may watch that video again before I do it, or I may just have a go and see what happens. I think it's yeah, I'm going to watch that video again and then we're going to come back and do it, so I don't want to end up. Okay, what I've discovered here is it's actually Fiat, in their infinite wisdom, have glued the LCD panel in. There you go, it's out. So it's glued in around there, which is why, although there's no tabs, I couldn't actually get it out. Right, so now I shouldn't actually have taken this bit out, so I'm going to put this back in. When I looked at the other video, this circuit board needn't have come out, but I took it out because where I'm putting stress on the tabs and whatever, I didn't want to end up breaking the circuit board, but I've pushed it all back home now. And now we've got to try and figure out how this comes out. Again, tabs, I think. So it doesn't necessarily want to come straight off. Yeah, probably again got to get a screwdriver in there, I imagine, and prise it upwards. As long as it goes, as long as the new one goes in cleanly. Doesn't matter about this old one, which is obviously it's cracking now because it's, but this is knackered anyway. But I don't want to get a repeat of that when I put the new one in, of course. I don't want to go cracking the new one because that would be an expensive mistake. There we go, it's come out. Bit of cardboard in the back. Is that supposed to go in there? I guess it is. I don't know why. Whether it's sort of some sort of diffusing of the light or something, I don't know. Make sure that goes back in the correct place. Like that. Right, let's get the new one out and put it in. Okay, so what it was these tabs. We got 4 tabs here again. Excuse me. Which need to be obviously pulled back to allow that out. So I used a little bit of brute force, but it's a broken one, so it don't matter too much. Now, when you put the new one in, the person who the seller of this very kindly told me which was the front. So you need to put it so the gold, it's actually not the front, is it? No, that is the front, isn't it? Yeah, yeah. So I'm assuming we need to take that. There's a protective cover, which I don't want to get my fingers all over. And then what we need to do is the gold bit needs to be facing outwards. So I need to get that in position and push it down with the tabs in. So the tabs are all underneath, just about holding it. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so now I'm assuming that there's a protective film over this side as well. So obviously we don't want fingerprints on it. We want to take that protective film off like I did on the other side, if I can get it started somewhere. Here we go. There we go. And now we have to put this piece back on again. Now which way around does that go? Does that go that way around? That way around? Don't know. Not sure now. I think it's that way around. Need to double check that again. See which way around it goes. Yeah, so the thick part of it goes like that. And then that needs to be pushed back in like so. There you go. That's all in. Right. Now we need to put this back on the back, which as I said shouldn't have come off anyway, but it did, so just need to put that back on. Push it all into position. There's sort of little tabs on it, but they sort of just poke through the little holes. Nothing drastic. There you go, that'll do, I think. Just make sure that's all down properly. Put those little, you have to put that back in as well, and then we can get this bit back. And you have to feed get the screwdrivers out of the way. Feed the cable through. Line those tabs up. It's difficult to try and do it on camera. And now you have to make sure that those 3 pins go into the corresponding place. That's it. And then we plug this in. So those are held back in by those tabs. Pull the gate back up. Plug it in. And push the gate back down. That should be it. But before I actually put it all back together again, I'm going to go and get Loopy Harold, which is currently over at my sister-in-law's, take the old Speedo out and plug this one in as it is, just to make sure it works. So when I say the old Speedo, the one that's in it is the one that I put in it from the 2019 car, which as we know doesn't work entirely properly. So it went, I think, relatively smoothly. It all depends on whether I've lined it all up correctly and whether it's going to work. So I'm going to try it and then we'll put it all back together. So we'll be back shortly when we're in Loopy Harold and we'll give it a go. Right, I'm inside the car. So as you know, this is a 2011 car. So although I'm hoping that this Speedo is going to work, it's only to see if the LCD works in the middle. So I haven't put the thing together. It's all there. So I'm going to be taking this one out, swapping them over, and then switching the ignition on, and fingers crossed it works. So let's get it all out first. Okay, so it's in. It's just plugged in and just plotted in position. So let's turn it on, see what happens. Yes! Look at that, it works. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. left front door open? Yeah, it probably is. Let's check. Yeah. So as I say, this is out of a 2015 car. The reason that is flashing, because the 2015 car does have tyre sensors, this one doesn't, so that's why it's flashing. And the mileage is flashing on this car because, again, it's not out of this car. So a proxy alignment would be needed if I was using it in this car. So that is great news. So that's 85 quid for a new LCD, which is relatively easy to fit. That's good news. So let's put it all back together and just double check it before I put the other one straight back in the car, just to make sure it all goes back together properly. Hey, it worked. I didn't film it again when I put it all back together, but as you saw in that previous video, it worked. Thank God for that. The lady came this afternoon and I put it in a car, installed it in about 10 minutes in her car, and all is good. So that is a great way of repairing your Speedo if your middle LCD has gone. If you've got the stuff around the outside, not so good. But if you've got the faulty LCD panel, it was a cheaper way of doing it, and it's a more effective way of doing it because you're still using your own Speedo. No proxy alignment is needed, no adjusting mileage is needed. You just put it in, plug it in, and away you go. So it's great. So hopefully, again, that video, now we've completed this now successfully. Hopefully this video has been useful for you. Thanks for watching. If you are a casual viewer, please subscribe. Hit that subscribe button up there somewhere, and hit that notification bell to be notified when we upload new videos. Thanks for watching. Once again, stay well, stay safe, and if you can, stay at home. See you soon.